little bit here and get started on a portrait. And I think we're going to start right off. Instead of doing a lot of sketching, we're going to do just a minimal amount of sketching on this right here. Oops, put on our symmetry. Okay, so I do know I want to have this person a little bit higher, a little bit smaller maybe. I'm going to go a lot darker in just a second here. I just want to get this just a little bit mapped out first. Okay. Okay, so I kind of know what I'm going to do now. So let's start with a nice dark. I'm going to go back here and just put where the eyes are going to be. Where the nose. Somewhere in there. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my black and start working on the portrait. Okay. I'm going to go a little bit heavier with this line. Put a little knob on the nose. I don't do a whole lot of defining of the nose, just a little maybe. And we'll go ahead and make this person a little happy. So we've got a face going here. And this person is going to have some curly hair. Also going to have some some glasses on. But let's get started with the curly hair. Try and actually leave it fairly open in between because I want it to, I'm also using the symmetry just to keep things going along rather quickly, since I've got people watching who may want to do other things too today. So I think we're getting a feel for curls here, but I'm also leaving options for the colors to flow through. Let's see here, we're gonna go like this. Okay, we'll come back and we'll add some details. I want to have this scroll here so we can put a label at the end. If you have an idea of what you think should go, what words we should put on this scroll, let me know. Just going to check. Ariana Gonzalez, what's up? What drawing? I'm just drawing a woman. Thank you for stopping by. Your name is so familiar to me. I know Gonzalez is a fairly common name, but Ariana Gonzalez sounds really familiar to me. I'm in Bellingham. I don't know if you're here. So thanks for the thumbs up. I see quite a few people watching. Thank you so much for coming by. I usually do a lot more pre-sketching, really going for it tonight. So I just want to make sure that we actually, I'm going to go like this. So that's the hair going around her face. Then we're going to have to kind of close it in behind. So now we've got a person with some curly hair, which is fine. And we're going to add some glasses. I'm just going to use my circle tool to get that to happen. So I'm going to make this a pretty wide black line, and it should do it on both sides. It did. There we go. And then I'm going to grab the eraser, much smaller eraser, and I'm going to erase right in the middle of it. So we've got the rim of glasses now. And I think I'm almost ready. I sort of want to block in some color here so that I can go up here and work and really not, well, I guess I don't have to block the color in yet. So I discovered something today by accident. So if I put a circle here, and that circle is, let's say the circle is here. I'm on this layer, and then I turn on my symmetry button, and I choose this, let's see. Yeah, we'll choose that symmetry. And I'm going to move that guideline. I still want to have that centered, but I'm not going to put it in the middle of the circle. I'm going to put it off center. And then I'm going to not be able to move those. And then I'm going to go around the circle, whoops, with a line. I want to be on this layer. I want to make a vector line. And I think I'm actually going to do this in a rather bright color rather than a black. So don't worry. I mean, I you don't have to fret. I know what I did right there, and it's okay. It's gonna disappear in a minute. So I think I'm gonna move that circle or make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now let's see what happens. There. And I'm gonna actually fill that with a little bit lighter color. It's a little too dark for me. Okay. So now that will end up being behind her, and all you're gonna see is this top part. I'm gonna turn the symmetry off for a moment. And I think just to make it easier for people to understand what I'm doing here, I'm gonna go down here and I'm going to start bucket filling her face. And so that this will start to disappear. So let me just do that. I'm going to be on here and I'm going to choose a light color first in a yellow, orange. Okay, that's helpful. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab, for the moment, what am I going to grab? I'll just grab a brown for her hair to begin with. Okay, and it pretty much grabbed all of it. Now I want to actually put this behind her hair. Okay, whoo. Now we can all breathe easier because I've hid that behind. We can work on this part though. So let's bucket fill. Whoops. Go back up here. We're going to bucket fill the eyebrows. I think she needs some nice blue, bright blue glasses. We'll go right there and there. Okay, so that's giving you a little bit of an idea of where this painting is going to go. Thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by. All right, so let's put a background in here. I'll add another layer. And I think I'm going to go pretty dark with this background. Pretty dark midnight blue. Okay, and it's okay, don't worry about her lips and eyes. We're going to fill all that in, but I want that very nice dark background. And she looks a little scary with her eyes and lips, so let's get that done. Let's get those blocked in. We don't want her to look scary. I'm just going to go for the whites of her eyes. Whoops, on the wrong layer. Up here we go. First we'll do the whites of her eyes. The pink right at the edge, very, very light. Okay, and then back with a black right there in the, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I must have turned my symmetry button off. Let me turn my symmetry button back on. This is the symmetry I want because I need to add a bridge on the glasses. All right, and we're gonna go down here to kind of, the blue lips are kind of cool, but let's go with the pink. And if you have an opinion about that, throw it in the comments. I'm just gonna fill in with a light pink for the moment. And I'll come back to that later, and we'll be reworking all of these colors by painting over the top of them. And so this is just color, I'm just blocking the colors in right now. Let's see here, I want that real light skin color right there. And then I think we'll go ahead and do some more details on the blouse and the corners before I finish painting everything else in. So I think that we can add some buttons. Oops, what do I have there? Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually use a deep gold here. I think we're gonna do a little idea of some, so that's kind of orange. I want more of a gold. So let's fill that. I want it to look different than her skin. And then we'll go back here and add a couple more buttons. Okay, I think we'll add some extra pattern here and there. And then in these corners, I would really like to do something fairly interesting up there. I think first of all, though, these pointy things, I'm not quite sure how much I like them. So I'm going to take the eraser and go to that layer. And erase those. They're a little pointy for me, so what I can do now is just do this thing called the magic wand, and I can pick all these little pieces I want to get rid of. Whoops, don't want to get rid of that. That's what I want. Nope. Never mind. And we'll just erase those and deselect, and then I actually will just use the eraser to get these little things here. That feels a little better. It seemed a little too pointy to me. It was distracting. Okay. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate you coming by. So I think I would like to add sort of like gears in right in the corners. And so I think what I'm going to do is keep the symmetry button on, and I'm going to put this right up in the corner. And what I do on one side, it should also do on the other side. So let's see what happens here. That's a really big fat line. We're going to bring that way down to like a 7. So it's only going to let me do a plain old circle right here. That's, okay, that's okay. Let's make the circle smaller then, if that's the case. And the gear is going to be on the outside of it, and I'm going to be doing a little copy and pasting here in a minute. but this will be the center of the gear. And we can get rid of that. Then let's go and grab that symmetry. We're going to move that guideline all the way up here. Now it's no longer going to copy itself over there. So I'm going to have to really try and get in the center here. We won't move those guidelines anymore. I'm going to make another layer up here. Where did those circles go? I'm a little baffled. I don't see them, but they're there. Okay, well, oh, they're on this layer. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll merge them. Okay, found them. So now I'm going to go with an even smaller line. Okay. And here we go. So this is something that always happens when I do gears. It's like, oh, that doesn't really work. It takes me a couple tries sometimes. Let's try it again. And then I'll just take the eraser right here. There we go. It's a little bit better. There's still sort of a little bit of would create a cog in my gear, but it's okay for the moment. Now I'm going to switch it to, I want to just switch it to a 3, like that. And so I'm still on this. I want to do the black again. Okay, so that's all on this layer right here. So I'm going to turn off my symmetry. I'm going to grab this and duplicate that layer. Then I'll just highlight that, and I'm going to move that one over here. Get it where it looks right. Done. Okay, so now I can merge this down, and I'll merge that. We'll just merge all those layers. Kind of keeps the layers to a minimum. And the last time that I did a sketch of this, her hair wasn't quite this big and I had books in the background, but I seem to be not able to do that this time. I guess we will live without the books, and I'll just start filling in the rest of these colors, see what we come up with. So I'm going to go here and grab my bucket and go to a gray. Actually didn't mean to do that one. I meant to do that one. Oh, so that's interesting. That means we've got a hole, and I see it right there. So I'm going to have to go back, grab my black, and fix the hole. Whoopsie. Grab my black. And that's the case all the way around both gears. This is a little bit of tidying up. We just have to do it sometimes. That's letting the color fly all over the page, those little holes. Okay, I think I got them all on that one. Let's go over here. Thanks so much for everybody stopping by. I am going to get to the layer painting pretty soon, which is a little bit more like wet brush painting. I like to get all the color blocked in first though. Oops, wrong. Let's try that again. Did we get them all? There's two more, I think. Okay, hopefully I have them all now. Let's find out. Go back to our bucket with the gray. Got them this time. Yay. All right, so then let's do another color inside the gear, just because I can't help myself. I know that usually you would not have multiple colors inside a gear. But painting is an opportunity. We're going to go with really light colors here. I think we need some green in here. I don't have any green, so let's go find a nice light green. Okay, so she's kind of a content creator, I think is what we're going to call her. And let's work on the background now. I'm going to add another layer right on top of that dark blue. And I think I'm actually going to turn on the symmetry for this one. And I think we're going to go right in the middle with probably the more the merrier. And I think I'm also going to make them rotational. Am I going to make them rotational? Yes, I am. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is just choose that blue and lighten it up a little bit here, and then go find a good pixelated brush. And the one that I want to use is going to be a rake. And we'll use the rake pressure. For some reason it's not there. I guess we could use the big rake. It's there. Interesting. Okay, so oh, it's got to go up here. Okay. So what it's doing, interestingly, why would, oh, because I haven't filled in. I haven't filled in the shirt yet. Okay, well, that's okay. See, I fool myself. And let's go to an even lighter. And I think I kind of want to go with a contrasting. So yellow is a contrasting. And then I'm going to go back to this dark blue and go around. Don't like it. Let's not do that. Okay. All right, so I think what I need to do now is go up here and start filling in the shirt. And I was saying that I really think we need a little more green, so let's go there to kind of a green-gray. And we're going to do the main part of her shirt, go with a darker tone of that. Let's go to a there we go. I like that. And then we will fill in the scroll with a parchment color. Okay, so what I'm not liking is the background that I put in. I'm going to take that away. And I think what I need to do is have this up here and have things coming out of that instead of being contra to it. I'm going to go back to one of my dark blues. I'm just going to go back to the rake. That looks a little bit better. Okay. I'm feeling better about that now. And I'm going to start doing the overpainting now. So we'll just go up here and I'm just going to choose all of the skin, oops, not the glasses, the skin texture. And I'm going to choose a watercolor brush. And the color I'm going to choose, so this is kind of where the skin color started. I'm going to move it to a little bit warmer, a little bit darker, maybe over this direction. And the size of this brush is as big as it can get. And we're just going to go ahead and paint on top of, oops, I do not want my symmetry button on anymore. Stop that, take away the paint, turn off the symmetry. So now we're just painting the face. So I just added quite a bit of color right there. And I'm going to go with a little duller color now, a little duller, darker. Okay, so now I'm going to add another layer on top and make my brush a little bit smaller so I can actually kind of start creating some form. That's feeling pretty good. And then I'm going to do a little bit of I'm going to have another layer on top of that because I don't want it to totally wash in. Oops, I want a much bigger brush. And I'm just going to sort of add a little just a little. And then I like to kind of go crazy on my paintings because I don't like them to be just your typical skin color. So this one I actually meant to go to that color there. So I guess I'm going to have to go over there, take that color back. And just add a little bit of fun color in there that's not typical skin tone. And then I think I'm going to deselect the skin and we'll work on the eyes and the mouth. Okay. And I will go with a little bit of a darker shade of pink and a much smaller brush. And then I'll go back with a really light again. It's because I want to blend that a little bit. I probably need to go with another layer on top. Let's try that again. There we go. That feels better. I can live with that. Ah, the hair. We're going to have to work on the hair. So let's highlight what we want to work on, which is this right here. And I am going to go with a red color this time. I'm not going to go traditional. I'm going to go with a watercolor. I think I need to make that a little bit bigger. Let's see what happens when I do that. I'll show you what I was trying to do right here. So you notice I select, and the watercolor that I'm using does not go outside. We'll go dark in the part here. Doesn't go outside the dash. It's not going up into these other areas up here. A lovely advantage to digital painting is that being able to capture things. It's a mask. I mean, you can actually do the same thing with painting on paper. There's a lot of different ways to create watercolor masks or any kind of acrylic masks. Okay, so I want to add some other colors into her hair. I think we'll go with a kind of an orangey yellow here and there. Let's see where we can get away with doing some. And I'm letting these kind of blend together on purpose. I'm not trying to keep them separate. If I wanted to keep them separate, I could have done another layer and it would have completely kept them separate. Okay, and now I'm going to add kind of an accent color. I'm going to go a little bit thinner, and I'm going to add it on top. So I'll add another layer. It's not going to blend. And I'm going to take that purple around about here, and then I'm going to switch to kind of a green over here. Not too much. It's not going to take too much. It just picks up the green that's in the shirt a little bit. So let's deselect and see how that looks. I like it. So let's get some color in her eyes. Go back here and let's bucket fill them with I think I'm going to go with a light blue this time. And then we'll add some dark in. So what I could do, so I just stay right within there and I don't accidentally deselect. I want to select that and that. I'm going to go back here to my color, go to a darker blue, close that, get up closer so you can see what I'm doing. We won't be done with this though. This is just the beginning of the details we'll add to the eyes. So now I'm going to go up here to my watercolor layer and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have it a pretty small line. I'm going to have it right around the middle. Right, and then I'm going to go up one more layer because I don't want these to run into each other. I'm going to have it right around the edge. And then I feel like go up even one more layer, and I think I want to add a little bit of a sparkly green in there. Just a little bit. Oops. That's pretty big. Let's go really, really small. I don't even know when we get far away whether you'll even notice this, but I feel like I want to add it, so I'm doing it. Okay. Deselect. All right, I like that. I feel like I want to add some eyelashes though. So let's go to that layer and let's grab that vector brush in a black. I haven't checked the comments in a long time. Oh, Russian! And you gotta go. So sorry I missed saying hi to you if you're still here. Yeah, we keep missing each other. Russian stops by often and says hello. Russian is a budding artist. Okay. We want to add some eyelashes in here. Thank you so much, everybody who's hanging with me. I am really looking to grow my channel and get some new subscribers. So if you think you ever would want to watch drawing again, please subscribe. I'm going to go with the taper here. And what happened? Why is it not showing? Why did it show on that side but not this side? Very weird. I'm still on that. Is that so thick that it's underneath? Okay, let me go up here and add a layer on the top. Now it's showing. That paint must be so thick on that layer that the eyelash is underneath and not showing. All right, that feels better. And I'm going to add a little bit of a reflection to the eye. Not there, in here. And in here. Okay. I think we need to add some details to her blouse. And this needs to be a color. Let's make it match her glasses. So we will bucket fill it first. I think that's the glasses color. Get on the right layer. And then I think we'll add a nice gold center. Matches her buttons below. Let's do some black detailing here. Actually, I'm going to go with a different color gold. Let's see, go with a light gold and do a spiral. So I'm going to switch to a different brush. That one grows. The more you press, the more it grows. So this one begins a taper. There we go. I'm too close with my color. It won't show. Let's go here. So there's a brush in here that is taper on both ends, and that is, so the pressure that you put on it causes it to grow, but it tapers as you pull the pressure off. And that way you can get this nice little pointy tip. Oh, uh-oh. I just love adding embellishment. Lots of different colored embellishment to a portrait. Let's do that one again. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually mean to do that. Let me try this. There we go. These make these buttons stand out a little bit more. They're a little dull. Okay, now I think I'm going to choose this pink here and these and add a little bit of texture to them. Just go with a darker, and we'll go with, what do we have here? Let's just go with the big rake. It's kind of a quick way to put on some sweeping texture. And we can add a little bit of orange in there because that will make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to come back with the pink again because I don't want the orange to overwhelm. There we go. Deselect. Thanks everybody for hanging with me. I think I'm going to turn the symmetry button back on and just do a simple division. And I'm going to take the circle and just add some color. So if I use I have to think about this. If I use a paintbrush in a watercolor, I want to go pretty light with this watercolor over here. And I want to make it a lot bigger. Okay, that was interesting. See what it's doing there. And let's make this bigger. And do it again. And I'm going to make this even bigger. Put it in the center. Turn that off. Interesting. That one in front of her hair, which I didn't actually want it to do. Did it? Oh, it did. So let me not do that one. Let me go back here and I'm going to add a layer so that I can do that again. There, now it's behind her, which is what I wanted. Okay, perfect. Turn symmetry off. I think I'm going to play around with filling the lines there a different color. They're not standing out enough anymore. So I'm going to go to this right here, this layer. I'm going to take my bucket fill. First I'll go lighter and just see what happens. White's pretty interesting. Let's go super dark. I think I like that better. Although I don't like those over the top. I might have to, interesting. I might have to erase those a little bit. So let me do that while I'm, okay, that feels better. I think I would name this ideation to creation. A friend of mine is saying that a lot these days. And it's a test of your cognitive abilities if you can go from ideation all the way through creation. So you have the idea and then you manifest it into reality, you make it happen. And it means doing a painting or going to work or whatever. So that might be a good name for this. Ideation. It might just be ideation because she's in the idea stage and she's not in the creation stage. So I might just put that is what I'm going to say down here is ideation. We're not there yet though. I want to change the color of the idea that's brewing here. I want to keep going with that and play around with these colors. Let's go to an even darker blue, a navy. Nope, the navy doesn't work. Let's go to a red, the dark red. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. So we knew the white looked pretty good. Let me go back to the white. I don't know though. I don't think I like the white. How about a purple? No, it's the value is too close to the background. So maybe we need to go with like a bright orange. Okay, that's what I like. I like the bright orange because it separates itself from the background. It separates itself from the other colors in here. I think I'm going to go with the bright orange. And I want to work a little bit on her eyebrows and her glasses and maybe a little more on the hair, and then we'll put in the words ideation. We'll be getting pretty close to the end. So we're just going to freehand this. I am going to go here, make sure I choose what I want to work on, and then I'm going to go to the watercolor in a super light blue in a very, very, very fine line. And we'll just mess those lines up a little bit. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Done. Okay. Deselect, and then let's select this because I forgot about that. Deselect. There we go. So I want to choose the brown hair. Did it! Yay. I want to add a little bit of shadow. Is that working? It's working a little bit. It's because I've got such a small brush that it's a problem. I'm actually going to go to the black now. Just have a little bit of black work its way in here and there. Where am I? Looking for my highlighted. Okay, I'm going to go up here. We'll just add a few highlights. Hmm. I think I'll undo all that. I don't think I need to smudge it. Those last couple highlights were just more than what I wanted. So here we go. That's better. That feels better. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you so much. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, I'm gonna set up, like, I'm gonna be back in like 30 seconds. I need to grab just a sip of water. Thank you for waiting for me. Okay, so ideation. How are we going to make this look interesting down here? I'm going to do a whole nother layer in case I have to erase the whole thing. It'll be completely separate from everything else. And we'll go with vector lines. I like that dark red. Is that big enough? I think I'm going to block it out first and then I'll work on the colors. Oh, it's never going to fit. Okay. So maybe we'll go with the first idea, which was ideation. Is it ideation? Ideation? I gotta check my spelling. If anybody knows the spell, I mean, I can always, I think it's just ideation. So it's a little, so ideation will fit if I've got that spelled right. I'm just going to double check. So a shout out to Patrick. He's the one who's always my coworker and friend. He and Christina were going for a bike ride today, and anytime I talk to him about these kinds of things, that phrase comes up because it's something we talked a lot about over the summertime. Okay, I'm going to make that look a little bit better, but first I'm just going to lay this out. So the idea of ideation to creation is, you know, like I said, making things, having the idea and then making them. But if if ideation takes over in your life and you don't ever quite make it to creating anything, it can be a very chaotic life, and not very productive outside of your own head anyway. And so that measure from ideation to creation, it's sort of a measure of sanity in a way, I guess would be maybe one way to look at it. Or I don't know if that's really the right way to look at it. It's a measure of how in control of your world you are, or if you just want to stay in the ideation and never manifest things into reality. That would be your personal choice. But okay, so I'm going to make this look prettier. So I'm probably going to start all over. I know it's going to fit. And I'll just clear that layer. I'm just going to try and use a different brush, I think. That's what we need. We'll do a chisel. We're going to make it bigger though. Too big. Also too big. I gotta go all the way back to the E. O-N, I can fit it. There we go. That looks good. Okay. I think we're coming to the end. It's getting late. So many people hung with me. I so appreciate it. I'm going to show you the advantages of having this drawn in Adobe Fresco is that there's a time-lapse recording that this program does, which is quite nice. It tells you, or basically shows you everything you've done from the beginning. It only takes a minute for it to come up with the video, so hang with for just a sec, and it'll show you what were the work we've done tonight. Okay, and I did not do an underdrawing. I did a practice sketch, which was a completely different sketch. The crazy skin colors are my favorite part. Okay, there we have it. Thanks everybody for stopping by tonight. This was a pretty successful live. I've had a couple that I had to bury, but this one I think we'll save. Good night, everybody. Thanks again for stopping by. Please subscribe. I'll hang here for a second to allow you to press that subscribe button before I sign off. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great night.